This new, never-before-seen undercover footage shows the great lengths that one ACORN official is willing to go in order to help set up a prostitution ring, once again involving underage girls. Now, the man on this tape even offers to help smuggle underage illegal immigrants into the U.S. for the purposes of prostitution.
Actually, what you don't see in that Fox News report is the rest of the video, which shows the ACORN employee pressing for as much information as he could possibly get from these two people in his office.
So the telephone number is 201. What area is that?
I'm from back east. I'm actually originally from New Jersey.
Okay. So you don't know what day? What day do you know?
No, they're coming on Saturday.
Saturday morning.
Well, yeah, like Friday night, Saturday morning, like
really late though.
Like secret
in the middle of the night.
Like between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m.
So that's the hour they working and that.
They're working on that, arrival.
So why is he asking for stuff like phone numbers, dates of arrival, specific locations, all these details? What's this ACORN guy going to do with all that information? What does he do with all that information? Oh, he calls the police and reports what they've told him is going to be a crime. Quoting from the Attorney General's report, immediately after the couple left, Mr. Vera telephoned his cousin, Detective Alejandro Hernandez, at the National City Police Department and said that a self-admitted prostitute had been to the office and was discussing human smuggling. Detective Hernandez contacted Detective Mark Haas at the San Diego Police Department. Detective Haas works with cases involving human smuggling. So that ACORN employee, who, by the way, doesn't speak English all that well, did the responsible thing. He elicited as much information as he could get out of this supposed pimp and prostitute in his office, and then he immediately reported it to the police. For that, he ended up getting fired after fantastical interpretations of his actions like these aired on Fox News.
He told us that it would be best if we had them shipped into Tijuana because he had contacts there that could help us. Yeah. It was extremely unusual, and we're like, oh, you can, and he goes, yeah, my people have experience bringing people across the border.
Yeah, remember when he said, my people have experience? Yeah, that was actually you that said that. The fact that the ACORN employee collected all that information, including phone numbers and dates the supposed crime was planned for, and passed that information on to the police, that never made it into that Fox News report on this outrage at the San Diego ACORN office. If you watched the Fox News coverage of these undercover ACORN tapes, you would have gotten the impression that every ACORN employee offered their assistance in hiding what they were explicitly told was a prostitution business.
It's almost inconceivable that a human being could react this way.
You can't think that this is okay. You know that if it were you and this couple came in and walked into your office, you wouldn't sit there.
You wouldn't sit there. You wouldn't sit there like these evil ACORN employees did before they called the police. I know this may shock you, but Fox News, it turns out, was not giving its viewers an accurate portrayal of how exactly these two activists represented themselves when they went into the ACORN offices. The story Fox News told its viewers was that O'Keefe and Giles went into ACORN saying they wanted to start a child prostitution business, right? And ACORN employees like Lavelle Stewart in Los Angeles were more than eager to help them out with starting this child prostitution business. Here's how it played on Fox.
After telling Stewart that they're looking to start a prostitution business, Stewart is, well, pretty encouraging.
You can do anything. Okay. Don't give up. No matter who says no. Keep pushing. Somebody's going to say yeah. Somebody's going to say yeah.
So that's how Fox News packaged and reported what happened in that office. They reported that after this ACORN employee was told that this pimp and prostitute wanted to start a prostitution business, she encouraged them to go for it. Now that we have the unedited tapes, do you want to see what actually happened?
We have an interesting situation. My girlfriend here is from Miami originally, but she came over to California. She's in a unique line of work.
Okay.
So we've been, it's been so much trouble trying to get a house because the bankers, they want to see something official, and we don't have anything like that.
Right.
So that's why ACORN.
But you know what? Yeah, when you go to them, tell them exactly what you just told me. Tell them your situation because they could probably give you some advice on what she can do.
Yeah, they could probably help her out.
They could help her.
Because we've been to so many banks and they're just like, we don't deal with prostitutes.
You can do anything. Okay. Don't give up. No matter who says no. Keep pushing. Somebody's gonna say yeah. Somebody's gonna say yeah.
See how she turns away from him and turns to her? What actually happened is that O'Keefe and Giles told this ACORN employee they couldn't find housing because Ms. Giles was a prostitute. And that's when that employee turned to her and encouraged her to keep trying to get housing for herself. Not encouraging her to start a prostitution business, but encouraging her to keep trying in her effort to get housing. But don't let that stop you, Mr. Hannity. Don't let that get in the way of your great story. In criticizing this type of selective editing, California Attorney General Jerry Brown's office said, quote, the video releases were heavily edited to feature only the worst or most inappropriate statements of the various ACORN employees and to omit some of the most salient statements by O'Keefe and Giles. The unedited videotapes released by the California Attorney General's office last week clear ACORN employees in California of criminal wrongdoing. They do not clear ACORN offices in other parts of the country. We've talked about ACORN's real various misdeeds before on this show, including having an executive who embezzled funds and some other problems. This is not meant to excuse what ACORN has done wrong in the past. But the huge tide of negative publicity that followed these videotapes and the coverage they got on Fox wall to wall for months was bullpucky. It was a dishonest political stunt that bears no resemblance to journalism and no resemblance to the actual facts of what happened in those offices. But it worked. This big organization serving poor people, registering thousands of low-income voters, advocating for a higher minimum wage, this organization has been shut down. Means be damned, in the end it worked. Who do you think is next on their list?